Our dungeon master tip of the podcast is campaign lists. Now, keeping track of what's going on in your campaign can be tough, right?
Uh,
Keep keep the story of the adventure and the whole campaign in mind, and keep it in a list of things that can happen to drive the story forward. If the adventurers decide to wander off in an unexpected, place, you might end up missing one of the prepared maps or some random encounters. Pull something off your campaign list and tie the whole excursion to the broader story. Sometimes we forget when players go west when we want them to go any of the other three directions, that we forget to find to try and tie it back to our adventure. As we mentioned in our main topic, the adventure structure, when they do that, make sure you have a list of things kind of prepared ahead of time in case things go wrong, right? You can have short little detailed plans of if they go somewhere else, how can you tie it back? And a short little list is a really, really great way to do it. Even if it's just like a random encounter that might happen along the roads where they spot, they decide to go west and you wanted them to go every other direction. They're camping and, maybe there's a couple lights passing by that might draw their attention and they might snoop up and just hear a discussion between, a set of guards from a neighboring, kingdom that or you're at warfare with, right? It ties it to the fact that your overall story's got this war going on, but it's not really a direct, um, a direct decision that they made to run into it. It's just kind of a passive event. And by tying them, then that feels like you're not wasting as much time doing random stuff, especially if you can kind of control the flow of the story. What do you
Yep.
guys think?
I think it's also a good point too that you're not going to think of everything as a DM as hard as you try.
Yeah. So
But that doesn't mean you can't document all the possibilities, because even if they don't do them now, that doesn't mean you can't revisit them later.
That's true. I like that.
I try to keep track of what the players do, and it's difficult, especially when you ad lib most of it.
Yeah. That's why you need
That's
to
most
keep,
of it.
even if it's just a little list of key bullet points, right?
That's usually what I do is in a notebook.
Mm-hmm.
It's a notebook for keeping track of initiative and all that stuff, and some names. And on the back of the notebook, on the back pages, I write down the session so and so. This is a gist of what happened.
Yeah.
That's the most I can really do.
And being able to tie even just a single element to an ongoing stories will actually build the player's confidence that you actually had the whole thing planned out no matter what they did. Just because it's connected in one capacity. So keep that in line, in mind, and a short list of, oh shit, well, this is going here now, and roll with it.
Yep.
Roll with it.
Yeah.
Always a good tip, because it's always kind of interesting to read your old notes and go, oh, I can touch on this again.
Yeah, absolutely. That is such a great addition to that. Things that may have been passing before might be able to come up, right?
I've written a lot of things down that the players talked about, like, oh, what if this happened? What if that happened? The whole oh, it's there now type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have like 2 pages dedicated to stuff that they've said that I'm gonna put in the game at some point.
That's awesome. Always makes them feel really great too. It's like, oh, I talked about this. I knew this was going to happen, but you never tell them that you made it up, right?
No.
Or that you stole it from them.
Like, they got an NPC that they're loving right now. His name is Merlwyn, and he's this crazy old wizard who lives in a janitor's closet that teleports to a sanctum out in the astral plane, which is where he lives. Bunch of magic items and stuff. And he's crazy, but he's a very helpful NPC, and they love him. And so,
He's got a closet of Narnia in there.
Yeah, he does.
That's
He's
awesome.
got this little magic doorknob that he puts on any wall, and when he opens it, it opens to his thing, and he just shuts
cool.
it.
Nice.
But
did you ever see that short flick? The Room was a lot like that. They had a key, they stick it in a door and think about where they want to go, and it just, as long as there's a door there, it goes there.
they're so cool.
Yeah, that's really good.
But one of them said, it turns out that Marl is a villain. They're like, would you shut up? It's like, no, it's just a joke. And I'm sitting there behind the screen going, that's a good idea.
How can I do this?
So yeah, it'll happen eventually. Maybe he'll be the next guy.
That's great. All right, that'll do it for our Dungeon Master tip. Campaign lists. Tie that shit together.
I bet that would work really well with Obsidian.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what Obsidian is designed for. If you're not using Obsidian as a dungeon master, you are
Obsidian
missing
Portal,
out.
yeah.
No, not Obsidian Portal. The
Oh,
program Obsidian. Obsidian.md. It basically creates like a balloon of connecting masses together, and you can link everything together. And you can like zoom out, and it looks like it's crazy.